how are you all? I hope you're doing well. So we're going to talk about Bill Burr. He recently had some really funny things to say about CNN on his podcast. He kind of called them out. And then after we talk about Bill Burr, I have another video to show you, and I just think it's great. It is from the Brian Stelter show on CNN, and this is yet another person calling out CNN on CNN, and I love it. I think it's great. And the thing about CNN is this. There's basically like three types of journalism. One of them is really bad. You have objective journalism, where it's a reporter just giving the news to the camera. You don't know what side they're on. They're just giving you the objective truth without injecting their opinion. And then you have point of view journalism, which is also okay. And that would be something like Fox News, or that would be a person giving you the story, giving you the facts, and then giving you their opinion on top of that. But the thing about point of view journalism is typically you will know ahead of time what side they lean on, and they will always say, like, this is my opinion, this is the story, this is my opinion, this is what I think about it. And then you have pure propaganda, which is bad, 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 bad. And that seems to be a lot of what CNN is. And of course, every news station has a little bit of propaganda in there somewhere, I have to say. It just is what it is. But CNN is by far the worst. And the worst thing about CNN is they really make themselves out to be your trusted news source. That's their thing. They make themselves out to be that they're a middle of the road, and that is the one news source that isn't biased. And that's how they present themselves. But we know more than anything, they're like one of the worst. The thing is, when you watch Fox News, you know you're getting the right side, or the Republican side of the news. When you watch MSNBC, you know that it leans left, but it's the way that CNN positions itself, and they just seem to be the worst. For instance, I don't know if you remember that story last year during the pandemic where Chris Cuomo came down with the flu, the flu, and he quarantined in his basement for however long that he was sick. But during that time, he was seen out with his family not wearing a mask. He was busted. He even admitted it on a different talk show. And even after that, they made this huge dramatic scene where he came out and saw his family for the first time in 2 weeks. And it was this wonderful moment. And they never once addressed the fact that he was outside without a mask on during this whole thing. So we don't know if he actually was sick or what was going on. And they never addressed that. They just kind of went along with the narrative. And even still, Trump isn't even in office anymore, and they just seem so obsessed with him. They will criticize Trump, make up all kinds of stories about him, yet they won't say a thing to criticize Biden. But anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about Bill Burr and what he said. Before I say that, Bill Burr is one of my favorite comedians, and I think there's something we can all learn from Bill Burr and why I love him. So Bill Burr, he is a comedian. He's been on the Grammys, giving an award, and I'm going to show you that video in a second. He's hosted SNL. He's in The Mandalorian. He is someone who is not politically correct, who speaks his mind, who calls it as he sees it, yet he's never been totally canceled by Hollywood. He's made people angry, for sure, but he's never been canceled. And the same goes for Adam Carolla. And Adam Carolla was asked about this once on his podcast, and he had a really great answer, and I think the same is true about Bill Burr. So someone asked, you seem to speak your mind and you go against the approved Hollywood narrative, yet you've never really been completely canceled. Yeah, you make people mad, but Hollywood has never completely shut you out or tried to come after you with a pitchfork. And he said, and again, I think the same thing is true for Bill Burr, and one of the reasons I respect him, he said, it's because I've just always been who I am. I don't apologize for my opinion. People know what I am. I've always made that known. I've never changed. I've never faltered. And they know what they're getting with me. I've made that known. I've always stayed true to myself. And I think the same is true with Bill Burr. And I really respect that, because that just goes to show when you just are who you are unapologetically and you speak your mind, people already expect that from you. So they're not going to come after you. They come after people that have weakness, people that they know they can come after. But before we go into what he said about CNN, look at this clip from the Grammys, and this is from the 2021 Grammys where he was giving out an award, and this just kind of proves what I just said and why I love him so much. So here it is.
Was I the only one who wanted to kill himself during that piano solo? I bought a suit for this. I thought I was going to be on TV. I'm such a moron. I am losing so much money right now. All right, shout out to all the rock stars that I wanted to meet tonight who are watching at home instead. I'm talking to you, Don Dawkins. All right? What, I'm old. That was my first concert. All right, here are the next categories. All right. Hey, how many feminists are like going nuts? So why is this cis white male doing all this Latino stuff?
I wanted to show you that to give you a little bit of content because unfortunately I can't play you what he said about CNN because there's so many cuss words. So I'll try to read you a little bit about what he said. So I'm pulling this out of the Daily Wire and it says comedian and Mandalorian actor Bill Burr again bucked the liberal narrative this week on his podcast, ripping into treasonous, un-American CNN for the network's Trump obsession and its refusal to criticize bore President Joe Biden because he's a Democrat. I swear to God, he said, I cannot believe people watch that channel. They're so dumb. He said, they're effing treasonous, un-American pieces of S. Burr noted that his mother-in-law turns on CNN when she comes over to watch his children. She always puts on CNN. And you know what those effing morons are doing? Do you know what those effing morons are doing? They're effing talking about Trump. It's like, do you think these people give an F who's president? They want Darth Vader to come back. They want him, Trump they're talking about, to come back because they had nothing to talk about because it's show business and Joe Biden is an effing bore. He goes on. They can't be about Joe Biden because he's wearing the blue tie. So what do? They're going out there. They're doing what they did for the first time to this guy, the first time this guy got elected, Trump, by giving him all this free coverage while they act like they allegedly don't like him. I don't buy it. They are a corporate news channel. He's absolutely right. They refuse to criticize Biden and they still are obsessed with Trump. Trump was their golden egg. Trump gave them so many ratings, and now that he's not in office, their ratings have plummeted. And it blows my mind that, I don't know if you remember, but Project Veritas went undercover and talked to Charlie Chester. He's some big up in CNN, and Charlie basically admitted that they purposefully made Trump look bad and propped up Joe Biden to look good and hid bad stories about Joe Biden to get Biden into office. And it's like, it almost blows my mind that they did that. Wouldn't they want Trump to stay in office? He was their ratings king for them. But that's basically CNN, and a lot of people are waking up to it. And that's the scary thing about CNN, the way that they try to position themselves, because if you're someone that isn't keen to what's going on in the news media, you think that you're watching CNN and just getting the straight news. For instance, Bill Burr's mother-in-law, but you in fact are not. It is very, very fake. But that being said, I just want to show you this clip from Brian Stelter recently. This is author, what is his name? Michael Wolff? I don't really know who he is, but apparently he just wrote a book about Trump. And him and Brian Stelter got into it just a little bit. Here it is.
Is that how it works? That's how you get access?
But I don't want you to think that what I said at that point was in any way inauthentic. I think the media has done a terrible job on this. I think you yourself, while you're a nice guy, you're full of sanctimony. You become part of one of the parts of the problem of the media. You come on here and you have a monopoly on truth. You know exactly how things are supposed to be done. You are one of the reasons people can't stand the media. Sorry.
You're cracking me up.
It's your fault.
So that happened. Anyway, friends don't let friends watch CNN. Let me know what you think about everything, and I'll see you all later. Bye.